Hi guys, this time I will read you some legends from Indonesia. Sang Kuryang. Once there was a kingdom in Priangan land. Lived a happy family. They were a father in form of dog. His name is Tumang, a mother which was called Dayang Sumbi, and a child which was called Sang Kuryang. One day, Dayang Sumbi asked her son to go hunting with his lovely dog, Tumang. After hunting all day, Sang Kuryang became desperate and worried because he hunted no deer. Then he thought to shoot his own dog. Then he took the dog liver and carried home. Soon Dayang Sumbi found out that it was the deer liver but Tumang's, his own dog. So she was very angry and hit Sang Kuryang's head. In that incident, Sang Kuryang got wounded and scared, then cast away from their home. Years go by, Sang Kuryang had traveled many places and finally arrived at a village. He met a beautiful woman and fell in love with her. When they were discussing their wedding plans, the woman looked at the wound in Sang Kuryang's head. It matched to her son's wound, who had left several years earlier. Soon she realized that she fell in love with her own son. She couldn't marry him, but how to say it? Then she found a way. She needed a lake and a boat for celebrating their wedding day. Sang Kuryang had to make them in one night. He built a lake. With the dawn just a moment away, and the boat was almost complete. Dayang Sumbi had to stop it. Then she lit up the eastern horizon with flashes of light. It made the cock crowded for a new day. Sang Kuryang failed to marry her. She was very angry and kicked the boat. It fell over and became the mountain of Tangkuban Perahu, Bandung. The legend of Sura and Baya. A long time ago, there were two animals, Sura and Baya. Sura was the name of a shark, and Baya was a crocodile. They lived in the sea. Once, Sura and Baya were looking for some food. Suddenly, Baya saw a goat. "Yummy! This is my lunch," said Baya. "No way! This is my lunch. You are greedy," said Sura. Then they fought for the goat. After several hours, they were very tired. Feeling tired of fighting, they lived in the different places. Sura lived in the water and Baya lived in the land. The border was the beach, so they would never fight again. One day, Sura went to the land and looked for some food in the river. He was very hungry and there was no much food in the sea. Baya was very angry when he knew that Sura broke the promise. They fought again. They both hit each other. Sura bit Baya's tail. Baya did the same thing to Sura. He beat very hard until Sura finally gave up and went back to the sea. Baya was happy. The story of Tobale. Once upon a time, there was a man who was living in North Sumatra. He lived in a simple hut in a farming field. They did some gardening and fishing for his daily life. One day, while the man was do fishing, he caught a big golden fish in his trap. It was the biggest catch which he ever had in his life. Surprisingly, this fish turned into a beautiful princess. He fell in love with her and proposed her to be his wife. She said, "Yes, but you have to promise not to tell anyone about the secret that I was once a fish. Otherwise, there will be huge disaster. The man made a deal and they got married, lived happily, and had a daughter. A few years later, this daughter would help bring lunch to her father out in the fields. One day, his daughter was so hungry and she ate his father's lunch. Unfortunately, he found out and got furious and shouted, "You damned daughter of a fish!" The daughter ran home and asked her mother. The mother started crying, felt sad that her husband had broke his promise. Then she told her daughter to run up the hills because a huge disaster was about to come. When her daughter left, she prayed. Soon there was a big earthquake followed by non-stop pouring rain. The whole area got flooded and became Toba Lake. She turned into a fish again, and the man became the island of Samosir. Malin Kundang. A long time ago, in a small village near the beach in West Sumatra, a woman and her son lived. They were Malin Kundang and her mother. Her mother was a single parent because Malin Kundang's father had passed away when he was a baby. Malin Kundang had to live hard with his mother. Malin Kundang was a healthy, diligent, and strong boy. He usually went to the sea to catch fish. After getting the fish, he would bring it to his mother or sold the caught fish in the town. One day, when Malin Kundang was sailing, he saw a merchant ship which was being raided by a small band of pirates. He helped the merchant. With his brave and power, Malin Kundang defeated the pirates. The merchant was so happy and thanked to him. In return, the merchant asked Malin Kundang to sail with him. To get a better life, Malin Kundang agreed. He left his mother alone. Many years later, Malin Kundang became wealthy. He had a huge ship and was helped by many ship crews loading trading goods. Perfectly, he had a beautiful wife too. When he was sailing his trading journey, his ship landed on a beach near a small village. The villagers recognized him. The news ran fast in the town. Malin Kundang has become rich and now he is here. An old woman ran to the beach to meet the new rich merchant. She was Malin Kundang's mother. She wanted to hug him, release her sadness of being lonely after so long time. Unfortunately, when the mother came, Malin Kundang, who was in front of his well-dressed wife and his ship crews, denied meeting the old lonely woman. For 3 times, her mother begged Malin Kundang, and for 3 times he yelled at her. At last, Malin Kundang said to her, "Enough, old woman. I have never had a mother like you, a dirty and ugly woman." After that, he ordered his crew to set sail. He would leave the old mother again, but in that time, she was full of both sadness and angriness. Finally, enraged, she cursed Malin Kundang that he would turn into a stone if he didn't apologize. Malin Kundang just laughed and really set sail. In a quiet sea, suddenly a thunderstorm came. His huge ship was wrecked and it was too late for Malin Kundang to apologize. He was thrown by the wave out of his ship. He fell on a small island. It was really too late for him to avoid his curse. Suddenly, he turned into a stone. The legend of a rainbow. A long time ago, there was a farmer. He had a small farm. One day, he found that a wall which he had built on previous days was getting knocked down. The farmer did not know who or what made it. Because he felt tired of this happening, the farmer decided to catch who should be responsible. One evening, while the farmer was in guard, he heard something strange near that wall. Then he ran to find out who or what it was. It was surprising him because there were 3 star maidens there. When they saw the farmer was approaching, they tried to escape. 2 of the star maidens could run and escape, but one of them was left behind. The farmer then coached the star maiden. She was beautiful, and soon the farmer fell in love with her. Because he was afraid that the star maiden would run away, the farmer hid her magical wings so she could not fly anymore. The farmer and the star maiden got married. Time went by, they lived together and got a beautiful baby boy. They lived happily for a long time, until one day, the star maiden found her magical wings near the house. She wore her wings back and flew with her son next to her. The farmer was alone and heartbroken. The gods saw the tears of the farmer. They felt pity on him, so they decided to build a bridge of different colors for him to climb to the sky and see his son and wife, Dragon's daughter. Based on the legend, there were a couple of dragons lived in Teluk, which was known as Tapak Tuan. The king exiled them there because they did not have children. Day and night, the dragon prayed. Finally, God gave them a baby they had expected for so many years by sending a cute baby through the river. The dragon called the baby Putri Bungsu. The dragons loved the baby so much. Year by year passed through, and Putri Bungsu had grown up as a beautiful young girl. One day, there were a woman showed up and met the dragon. They were coming from Asranaloka kingdom. They said that they are looking for a girl who lost about 17 years ago. The human couple knew that Putri Bungsu was their baby, so they asked the dragon to give her back. Because the dragon also loved her and they had adopted her as their daughter, they did not want to give what the couple wanted. The dragon and the man fought before a priest named Tuan Tapa showed up. The priest asked the dragon to let the girl back to her family. Once again, the dragon refused to do it. He then fought with Tuan Tapa. Tuan Tapa killed the male dragon, and the girl was taken and returned to her family. The female dragon ran to China and destroyed anything she found. She even separated an island into 2 parts. Nowadays, the island known as Pulau Dua. She also destroyed a big island into 99 pieces, which today known as Pulau Banyak. Bali Strait. Long time ago in the Kingdom lived a great Brahman named Siddhi Mantra. He had a son named Manik Angkeran who fell in big debt due to the gamble. Siddhi Mantra knew about treasure in Agung Mountain that safeguarded by Besuki Dragon. With bell in his hand, Siddhi Mantra recited a spell to call the dragon. Once the dragon came out, Siddhi Mantra asked for help. The dragon agreed to give him gold. Manik Angkeran so happy to see the gold, but greed made him want more. He stole his father Bel and go to Agung Mountain to meet the dragon himself. After the dragon gave him gold, he became greedier and cut the tail of the dragon to get more. The dragon got angry and burned him to death. Siddhi Mantra felt so sad and asked the dragon to bring his son back to life. The dragon agreed as long as he could get tail back. With his power, Siddhi Mantra got the dragon's tail back and Manik Angkeran alive. Although Manik Angkeran felt sorry, Siddhimantra knew they could not live together again. He put a stick on the ground between him and his son. Suddenly, water came out from the ground and became straight, which separated Bali Island and Java Island. Bonyale in Lombok. Once upon a time in Lombok, there was a kingdom named Kuripan that was led by a wise king. The princess or the daughter of the king was so beautiful. Her name was Princess Mandalika. There were many princes who wanted to marry Mandalika. However, the king was confused because too many princes came and proposed. Because of that reason, the king held a narrow competition. He promised that the winner had the chance to marry with his beloved daughter. Just like expected, on the competition day, many princes came and participated. They had a good skill on arrow, so all of them were perfectly hit the target. The king became more confused. Because there was no clear decision, the princes started to fight each other. Princess Mandalika was desperate. The beautiful princess didn't want to find anyone got killed. So she then decided to go to the beach. She cried and threw her body into the deep sea. The beach where Princess Mandalika killed herself is in southern Lombok. Up to today, in February or March, people who live near the sea celebrate the moment. On that day, there are thousands of sea worms appear to the surface. People call the worms as nyale. They believe that the worms are the incarnation of Princess Mandalika. The celebration is called Bonyale. The Crying Stone. Once upon a time, in a small village in Borneo Island, there lived a mother and her daughter. The daughter was popular among villagers because of her beautiful face, but she has a bad behavior. She always spent her time in front of the mirror to admire her beautiful face. She never helped her mother to fulfill their daily needs. The daughter always made her mother sad. However, the mother still loved her very much. One day, the girl asked her mother to buy her a new gown. The mother refused it because she had no money. Because the mother loved her daughter so much, she finally bought her a new gown. Both went to the market, but the daughter asked her mother to walk behind because she was embarrassed if people saw them together. Once again, because of her love, the mother obeyed the daughter's request. Along the way home, the daughter still walked in front of her mother. People passing asked about the woman behind her. The daughter answered that she was not her mother but her servant. The mother kept silent, but inside her deep heart, she prayed to God to punish her daughter. Suddenly, her daughter's legs turned into stone. The daughter realized that it was because she had hurt her mother's feeling. She begged to her mother to forgive, but it was too late. Slowly, her body also turned into stone. The daughter had become a stone, but the tears were still seen, which was why the stone was called Ratu Menangis. Story behind how animals get their appearance. Long time ago, animals were very different from how they appear today. Some animals were taller, some were thinner, and some even had more legs than they have today. However, everything was boring and peaceful at the time until a red dragon saying that the world is going to end. Lion and chicken who had ever heard such issue before disbelieved. The red dragon convinced both animals and said that the world is coming to an end within a few days. Other animals who heard the issue asked the dragon where he found the information. Red Dragon said that he had been told by a witch that the world is too old and would going to an end. Arena then asked the dragon about what shall they do next. Red Dragon said that all animals should climb onto his back and he would bring them fly to another world. All animals rushed together on the Red Dragon's back except the lion. He said that he is a king and he never frightened of anything. He decided to stay. The red dragon then flapped both wings and flew into the sky. Some animals felt uncomfortable because they never fly before. The animals started to fight each other. Because there were too many movements on his back, the flight was unstable and finally all of them fell down from the sky. Some animals landed with their face, some were with their body, and some other landed with their tail first. All of them were injured and got different appearance like what we saw today.